Hello everybody, this is Rye, and we will be looking at a realistic replay on Saipan for the Ki-43 Hayabusa, or Ki-43 Mark III, which is basically a normal Ki-43 that has a pair of 20mm cannons, making it extra deadly. So yeah, I'm going to speed this up as I climb, but yeah. So basically the Ki-43 is a dogfighter, not an energy fighter. It has like a 14 meters per second climb rate. So I'm leveling off. I'll explain why I'm leveling off here, but in a second. But yeah. So it has a really good turn rate. Pretty much turn in on most enemies. And yeah. So the reason I'm flying level like this is because I don't want to mix it up with the high altitude energy fighters, which can just completely destroy me up here, and I don't want to go down too low because then I have to mix it up with a ton of assault aircraft, which are really heavily armed, and they can probably just swarm around, so I'm going to get some altitude above them before I attack. And the reason I'm speeding this up is because I don't have much room on my computer, so I want to be able to finish this recording, long story short. So you can see dots appearing down there. So that's one enemy. There's an F6F Hellcat engaging the ground targets. There's also a Spitfire engaging the ground targets. I'm going to want to engage the Spitfire first because it's one of the few aircraft in-game that can actually match the Hayabusa in dogfighting, like turning maneuvers. So I'm going to start engaging with the 20mm cannons, which have a decent amount of ammunition, but are really powerful nonetheless, so that's my first kill. I mean, nonetheless, whatever. They don't have much ammunition, I should actually say, but if used correctly, they can get tons of kills. So I'm kind of struggling to hit this F6F. I'm not really used to the gun convergence of these cannons. They have pretty high velocity, but there's my second kill, so not bad. And we will be climbing to engage a squadron of AI Hellcats over there, which don't really engage you at all and are pretty much just free XP. They're so easy to engage, but you kind of have to get rid of them for the objectives, and it gives you free XP, so don't have to work very hard for them. Alright, I'm going to dive on them now, and miss my first shots. Slow down here. As you can see, this is just seal clubbing. Yeah, that's the word. So yeah, I just ran out of cannon and ammo, but I just got 2 AI kills, so like I said, free XP. And now there's not much else. Not much other action for a little while. I'm just gonna land, reload my cannons, and then go off to see what else I can do. Keep in mind it isn't actually going as fast. I just sped it up. So I'm reloading now on the airfield, and I'm taking off now with the A7M1. So the A7M1 with that special engine, I'm not really sure if its battle rating should be increased or not, but it does seem pretty deadly. I mean, the A7M was designed later in World War II, so it wouldn't be surprising if it was much more powerful than all these other aircraft it's fighting. So I don't know if the battle rating for it has to be increased, but I haven't really Alright, just dodged some shots from him. P-47 there. I haven't really flown an A7M, so I don't really know if its battle rating needs to be increased or decreased or what. But it seems like it would have to be increased. Alright, so I'm going to be engaging this P-47 that just tried to attack me, but the A7M is going to get the kill, as you can see there, and I'm going to fly over to the other island and see what I can do. So I was thinking about engaging this remaining AI F6F, but the A7M seems to be doing that job, the other A7. So I'm just going to strafe these landing craft that have already deployed their tanks. Previous A7M seems to have the same idea. There's no real enemies at our level, so it's just basically I'm getting free XP, because why not? Not speaking clearly as usual, because none of this is scripted, but hopefully you can understand what I'm saying. So that was a successful strafing run. Last landing craft's going to be finished off by this A7. And yeah. So I don't think there's much action from here, so I can just speed it up. I'm just kind of screwing around, seeing if I can even damage tanks with these cannons, which I already knew I couldn't, but I just had no idea what I was doing, so that's my excuse. Right now I'm just watching our tanks engage them, because there's not much else to do. So I thought after this I thought I'd land, reload my cannons, and see if there's anything else I can do. Alright, I'm chasing this P-47, which is engaging our A7M, but I don't think I'm going to be able to do much. They're at a much greater energy advantage, so yeah, really nothing I can do there. Except for chase them for no reason. So the enemy ships have pretty much entered this sort of area, so they're going to be shooting flak at us, proving a little bit of an obstacle, but not too bad. So I'm going to land on this airfield, only to realize it isn't really an airfield, which doesn't make sense, but there's another airfield over, so just fly over to that one. There was fire up here, but it didn't seem to be recorded in the replay. So we're going to land on the actual airfield, which is over here. Line myself up correctly. This is, again, this is sped up, so just for the sake of the room on my computer. So I'm going to be reloading, repairing if necessary. I don't think I took any damage, but taking off again. So we found where one of the few remaining enemies is. It's a Firefly, which is a pretty low energy, taking a lot of flak here, it's a pretty low energy strike fighter, British strike fighter that's basically just strafing our AAA right now, and our artillery. So I'm going to get rid of that one. P-47 is occupied with our A7Ms, and there's really no way I can engage it, so yeah. Alright, slow back down here, because this is where the action starts again. Alright, they're gonna try to climb up to me, but I'm not gonna let that happen. Actually speeded up, I'm getting lagged, which means I'm running out of room on my computer. I'm trying to make this fast as I can. Opening fire here, missing. Going into a bit of a dogfight, which I, of course, am going to come out victorious. Yep, scored a critical hit, and he goes straight into the sea. And that's pretty much it. The P-47 just crashes after all that dogfighting. And yeah, rate, like, comment, subscribe, and say what you'd like to see in the future. See ya.